Hey there, I'm going to walk you through how to set up a grade scheme for your course. And this is really important to do if you are using certain grading scales or you have decimals that extend out in your grade scale. So one of the first things that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're in the course that you want this grade scheme to be attached to. So go ahead and go into grades. And then you're going to go to schemes. And you'll see that I already have one set up. So I'll walk you through the first part of the process, and then you'll kind of get the idea to be able to do the second part of the process. So what you want to do then is you would create a new scheme, and then you title it what you feel that you will remember this. So maybe you're going to call it Spring 2021 Grades, or whatever you would like. You can see that I titled mine ENTR. So one of the first things that you want to do then is make sure to have your grading scale handy so that you can make sure to look off of there to have everything accurate. What you're going to do is you're going to start off at the bottom of the scale, which means we can't change the 0. So this is anything from a 0 on up to whatever we put in the second column is what you're going to put for an F. So we always start with an F. Don't worry about the assigned value percent. This will put this in automatically after we save, which I'll show you in another screen. You can also color code them if you would like to. You can color code it so you as the instructor can see this, or you can also set it up that you as the instructor and the students can see this. So our next grade then would be a D minus. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull this from this scale. So you can see a D minus, the low end of that is 60.0. So for the sake of this, the computer will automatically change it to just a 60 in the following screen after we save, but you'll see where this comes in handy later. So the next one, when we are at a D, the low end is a 63.5. So 63.5. And then once again, you can decide if you want to color code these. That's completely up to you. You'll notice that the default is it has 3 ranges that will come in, and we have more than 3 ranges total. So you would want to count how many you had and then just add those in the additional part here. So for the sake of this, we're just going to add 6. It's going to put in 6 more rows there. So the next one we're going to do is a D plus. And so a D plus is going to be the low end of the scale, 66.5. And so we're going to go through and we're going to do this all the way. If you accidentally make an additional row that you don't need, you can always go to the little trash can and you can trash that. One thing I failed to mention is that you don't need a short name. That's just if you want to. You would hit save and close once you're done. You have your entire grading scale in here. You're going to hit save and close. For the sake of this and time, I'm going to hit cancel, and I'm going to show you the grading scale that I already put in. So you can see then the whole grading scale go all the way up to the A plus range. And you can see I could continue to add them if that's something that I wanted to do. So we're going to go ahead and hit save and close, because you'll notice since we have decimal points showing there, it's really important that we have the decimal points set up in our gradebook that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the setup wizard. We're going to hit start. And then in this situation, we're using points for our grades. We're going to go ahead and hit continue to go to that next screen. And we want to use calculated final grades because we're having Brightspace calculate this for us. Adjusted final grade would be if you needed to go in and you wanted to manually create a column that says final grade. It has to have a capital F for final, a capital G for grade. You can do that, and students that are maybe on the border, they've turned in additional work, done additional time, you can adjust that manually yourself. So for this sake, we're going to do calculated because we want Brightspace to do that for us. We go ahead and hit continue. So you have 2 options: to drop ungraded items, which some instructors do prefer, and that way students can see exactly where they are in the semester, and at midterm they have an accurate assumption as to where their grade is. You also can choose to treat ungraded items as 0. And so that's the default. So you have to decide which of those options it is you prefer and how your students maybe prefer to see their grades. I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. And then I have checked off that this is our default scheme. So I want the default scheme to be the ENTR grading scheme. We're going to go ahead and hit continue. And this is a really important part. So because we do have decimals and they're extending out there, we want to make sure to, I just do 2 to be safe. It allows us out just that one more decimal point to be able to do that. So 2 is the default, that should be there, but make sure to double check that when you're doing your setup wizard. And then continue. So this is what the students will see. Their points grade, the grade scheme symbol, and then they're also going to see the grade scheme color. The default is they won't see color, so that's completely up to you if you've color-coded things. 2 decimal places, and then 50 characters for the text title. And you can also display the final grade calculation to users. So you'll see that this is a screen where they're just, the system is double checking. Is this everything that you want to do? If that is accurate, once you've checked this screen, go ahead and hit finish. The next thing that we want to do, I have set it up so that the default is ENTR, but if you have not done that, then one of the things you can do is you can go to your final calculated grade column and you can click on this arrow and we're going to hit edit. Once we have done that, its default name is final calculated grade, and then you want to attach a grade scheme. The default is it doesn't always attach the grade scheme to it. You have the ability to, but you have to manually go in and attach a grade scheme to it for it to calculate it that way. So you would want to click on ENTR grading scheme, and then you would want to double check that everything else is the way that you want it, and then save and close. Once you have done that, you will see now it changed from a point value to now it has a point value there, and then it has the letter grade. Clearly, I need to work on my grades. So this is something that shows that there. And the only way that Banner, which is our system that communicates with our grades, the only way that Banner will accept that and for you to use the grade submit tool is for you to have a letter grade attached to it. And then once you are ready to do that, you then can do the grade submit tool. The only person that can use the grade submit tool is the instructor for the course. So that is extremely important to do. So if you are using a particular grade scheme with the decimals and all those that I just walked you through, it's really important that you set this up this way so that your grades can be done accordingly. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, reach out.